They negotiate with the president.
Maybe
they sit down.
This feeling that he will not have his way. No, but if you are in his front,
you see the problem I have
behind you,
you see the problem I have with you now.
You are talking.
The problem I have with you is that you've not done something. You have concluded you will not have your way. Why not do something as decent? I told you about somebody here, Ferdinand Alabraba. I told you about Osiriyokola. I told you about Chief Sergeant Awusu and other people. You had the people, but you know why he can't go? Why he can't go? He messed up himself.
Yeah. Just now,
he will run to.
So reconciliation with these people too will be with your support. Reconciliation with those people too will be with your support.
As Trump appears to be, he still goes to negotiate with the Congress. He will sit down with them. So listen, the way people are going, it's not the way I'm thinking. It's not about you. Come on, Congress. I'm coming now. Who does that? For Christ's sake, who does that? Why do you encourage that? The man must be taught that art of governance is not about commissioning projects. Governance is not only about commissioning projects. Governance is not only about initiating projects. Governance is also the capacity to relate, to meander.
What's the roadmap to peace in Rivers State?
You are one of those who have arise one of the problem makers as far as Rivers State is concerned. Problem. Let me tell you what he said the roadmap. I've told you about politics. I told you I go and see my chairman of committees. I've not presented our 2025 budget. Mr. President has not laid it to them. Now, I cannot, even when we finish the ESCO of the FCT approved, I will still go back to the chairman. As the chairman, look, Mr. President is likely to bring the budget next week. I will not, because I'm working with President. I won't talk to them. Who does that? And that's why I say it is not only going to commission projects governance. You must learn how to relate with people.
Yes.
They are not my children. They are elected people.
Yes.
Legislature is the background of democracy anywhere in the world.
And Your Excellency talking about
now, they fixed August. And what's your best model for credible local government election?
That's why when you travel illegality, you pay. Now let me tell you, you know why it will not stand? It will not stand.
Again.
How would it stand? That chairman, that enabling, that man, all is interested had to be looting. Did he read the judgment first? Did the enabler read the judgment? The retired judge who claims this, I know him very well. I appointed him as chairman. These are people who don't have character.
But you don't describe him as a very corrupt person.
Until somebody goes to power.
He was not corrupt when you appointed him.
No, how would I know? It is now you know.
So
let me tell you.
I'm talking about.
With all due respect to you. Yes, you can blame me. I take responsibility. I own responsibility. Some of the things we do while in office is when you leave office, you start regretting. I can tell you that. It's not everything you know. You may think, let me tell you, as I sit here, so many things happen. In fact, my son sent me something from UK about learn something. I never knew that something was going on. But my name was used, right? So when I came, I said, what? I had to call security. And they got the person. You may think because I'm there, it's everything I know. It's not correct. And let nobody claim that. But I can tell you, with what I know now, I made a lot of mistakes while as governor. I own up that. And that's what they call a leadership. When you make mistake, it's unfortunate I can't correct them now because I can't go back there as a governor. But it is helping me as FCT minister based on those mistakes I made. I've not seen so many as I know this can happen again. It can happen 2 times.
Does it include the PDP?
Now, so when you talk about the local government, the local government will not stand. The notice dead on arrival.
Do you still want to bring your people back?
I said, now this, again, mind you, Supreme Court, in their judgment of local government election then, the autonomy of local government. Supreme Court said that the assembly has powers to even extend their tenure in order not to allow a vacuum. Instead of it to allow non-elected or caretaker, the assembly has power to extend their tenure until when an election is conducted. Supreme Court judgment is very clear. It's not me. I was not part of it. But that is the Supreme Court judgment. I don't know what I want them. I'm talking about what is the law. What does the law say? It's not about me. Let us do what the law says.
Okay, talking about the law, I'm talking about a path to peace. You were the one who was on the podium showing the people of Rivers State a certain Sim Fubara about 2 years ago for them to vote for him. Those Rivers State indigenes are the ones who will not get paid in these few months where there is this face-off. The path to peace that we're talking about is not necessarily for the two main protagonists. The grass that suffers while these elephants are fighting are the people we are talking about. Are you thinking about them in all these calculations?
That is why Assembly said, for the interest of the state, we don't want our state not to receive their money.
You haven't answered the question.
No, I'm coming. No, you cannot tell me when I've answered the question. You are not the one who asked the question. So you cannot, a question you didn't say. You can't say that. So we draw that word. We do it. The point I'm making is that Assembly said, for the interest of the state, for our state to receive our money from the Federation account, come and bring this budget now. For the interest of the state, what else do you want people to do? For the interest of the state, the letter, I read it. I saw it on it was advertised. And when Assembly submitted that letter, they took it, read it, called them, they said no, they should return the letter. Governor does not receive communication from the Assembly. Now you are writing letter. The Assembly you don't receive letter from. You want them to receive letter from me. I mean, look at who's looking for peace.
He was trying to say that as a leader, are you not dampening the prospects of peace by not intervening?
I've intervened. That is why I'm telling you that the right thing should be done. Because as a leader, should I go and say the wrong thing should be done?
Why not call a meeting of all the stakeholders?
Exactly.
Why not call a meeting of all the stakeholders?
The former governor, all the people like you to come together in a round table and solve this problem.
All the cannot call anybody to meeting now.
Okay.
It's not
why don't you call those you see as critical stakeholders around you and around Sim and agree to a roadmap?
A medical judgment was given.
Yes.
Our leader, Chifena Alabama, called the Assembly people. Say, listen. We thank God what has happened. Understand that this is not personal. It has to do for the interest of the state. Take step to show that you want to really bring peace. Did it take them 48 hours? Ordinarily, with the first relationship, they don't need to write him. With the first relationship, they don't need to tell him that we're going to arrest. They would have just gone. But they said, look, for the interest, we are ready to do it and leave now. What peace effort people will want until they kneel down and crawl to government house and to tell you how bad it is. If you don't want to be a politician, say you don't want to be a politician. I've not seen you for years. I've never discussed anything with you for years. The next thing you do to write me a letter to come to your office. How bad?
There's still one case at the Supreme Court, Excellency.
Which case?
The issue of the defection and all of that.
Don't stop carrying this here rumors. No, there's no more case. Let me tell you, and people should hear this and hear it well.
Okay.
The issue of defection has been settled by Supreme Court. And I'll tell you how it happened.
It was touched.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
So most of you don't read. You don't read.
We read every day.
You don't read.
Stories that come
you don't read. Hold on, we do that. People don't read.
Excuse me?
I give it to you. You don't read.
Hold
on. It's not about reading novels. No.
No, we don't just read.
No. You don't read. I challenge any of you who have read the judgment.
I have.
Hold on down.
I just supported you.
Hold on. You read accumulated judgment.
I read all the judgment.
Did you hold on? Did you read the judgment of Ihe Mewosu?
I said
Yes.
I read all the
What did
of
she
them
say?
about
Now let me tell you how the thing came about, so some of you would learn. At the Federal High Court, before Justice Abdul Malik, who said, no, you cannot be taking money from Federation without a budget. Therefore, stopping Central Bank and Accountant General. They went on appeal at the Court of Appeal here. Court of Appeal, now, that was a dissenting judgment by Justice Banjoko. That was the judgment by Justice Barker and Obiora. Obiora and Justice Barker agreed that the Federal High Court had no jurisdiction on the issue of jurisdiction. Obiora and Barker said they have no. Justice Banjoko said no. The Federal High Court had the jurisdiction and dissented. Now on the merit, Barker agreed with Justice Banjoko that the Court of Appeal was right, that they have held the position that 3-4 people cannot constitute an assembly to make law, not to talk about appropriation. Now, we now appeal on the issue of jurisdiction solely to the Supreme Court. Now, listen to what I'm saying. They now cross-appealed on the merit that the Court of Appeal said that these people are the Mamad is the right leadership with the other 26 members. They now cross-appeal. So people should hear the truth. It was on that cross-appeal, the Court of Appeal said no. The Supreme Court said no, you are wrong. You can't say so. There was no defection. There couldn't have been defection. Who wrote that? Justice Ihe Mewosu, who is the in-law to Justice Dudley. I hope you know that. Justice Ihe Mewosu's son married Justice Dudley's daughter. But she wrote that 10, 12 pages judgment about the defection. She defined what's called defection. Defined defection constitutionally. Defined defection politically. Defection cannot be hanging. Defection cannot be inconclusive. That there is a presiding officer. By the time you are defecting, the presiding officer that will declare the seat vacant. Until that is done, you cannot say defection.
So we see that we read.
No, you don't. No, you do it. Hold on, Nalai. Sorry, I use one language, Nalai. I'm sorry. But okay. It's good for the public to understand. Yes. Because there are some people who don't understand it's a lie, but they understand a lie. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So the point I'm making is that Supreme Court came out boldly and made a statement. There's no defection. That somebody was waving flag. How does that constitute defection in law? That in fact is even worse. Assuming the presiding officer is in a different party, and these people are defecting to his own party, he may not hit the gavel. Until he hits the gavel, then can you say as a defection? They declare it's different. You cannot say they are defected with your own man. That somebody said, I'm not the president of America, has now made it to the president of America. Nobody does that. So the issue of defection was thoroughly dealt with. If you read Justice Ihe Mewosu's own dissent. So I'm just trying to bring this clearer. They're all telling lies. Lies. And that's why they will tell you, we still have a matter at the Federal Court. What to matter?
Honorable Minister, we need to bring to a close this issue of rivers because there are still issues about the polity generally that we also need to talk about. Just your final word on the issue of rivers. Will you be interested in winning both the peace and the battles, having won the war now in rivers?
I don't know.
As a leader,
okay, what's called battle and war? Battle is war now.
The battle,
when is there winning the battle and war?
The battle are things like that we are talking about now, like the governor still going to the House of Assembly when he doesn't have their nod to come and sit there and all of that. You know, those are the little battles.
That's what I'm trying to say.
How do we end all of that?
Why not? I don't know why you are still going back. I said we have started the issue of peace. Assembly, make sure that you take the budget. And they took steps. How do you make peace? If we don't want peace, we would have told the assembly people Go. Don't come back. Stay away for 6 months. But that was to tell you after that, it's only for you to reciprocate.
Can you do more?
I don't know what you said you want to take my blood, which I'm not ready to give.
No, Excellency.
I'm not ready to give. I'm serving here. I cannot just, every time I'm thinking of, you ask me what happened in the Gishiri or whatever yesterday. Gishiri. Look at the effort. And again, you want me, I'm human.
But you have to support Mr. President's vision. And ahead of 2027, the idea is to get Rivers State for the president.
Don't even you tell me I have to support. Who is the one? Who is the bedrock? Who? I'm the one. I am the one that will champion Mr. President. I'm also doing it. You don't preach that one to me. Everybody knows me in this country.
Will you sanction the impeachment of Sim Fubara?
Sanction.
Yes.
If assembly thinks that he committed infraction, and he knows he committed, you find peace. It's not by gara-gara. It's not by threatening.
All right.
Gloria,
see, let me tell you, if an armed robber knows he committed armed robbery, what you do when you go to court, my Lord, I did this. Forgive me. Give me a second opportunity. The judge will look at you. It's okay. Guy has done this. Instead of killing him, that I give him 2 years imprisonment. 3 years. Okay. You understand me? No, but when you sit with people trying to tell you, let me tell you how arrogant. Let me tell you this. The governor was misled. 3 weeks to Supreme Court judgment. You know what he did? In my own family, my community, the governor came and removed my chief. My chief, yes. I made another person in my own family. In my own family. So, now, that's the point I'm making, because he was giving the hope that he will win the Supreme Court. So nothing. Now you tell me, we have played politics to the level you penetrate to somebody's family, to dabble into internal affairs of the family. Now, you know, sometimes when people talk about this peace, you don't take everything to consideration. You just sit outside, you talk. Look at me, former governor, Minister of FCT. Governor has the temerity, the audacity, because he had money from Federation account, because he had money from IGR, who would enter my own family to remove the chief and make another person chief. Come on. What is anybody talking? What is anybody talking? And you are telling me if I'm ready for peace. Who is talking this problem now? Who is talking the problem? You look at me. Me or 4 persons, so. Who are you? I'm not talking about local government. Too. I'm not my own family. You look at me. Simply because judicial merchants have told you will win. They've collected your money. And that's why I pity judges and justices. I pity them. People collect money and they play this game. How do they play the game? They play this game. If you win, they say the judges collected money. Meanwhile, no kobo was given. I pity them. Yeah, I mean, I know what I know. Now, if they don't win, they go back and say, well, it will be difficult for us to go and collect the money back, because let people not know that we pay the bribe. So whichever way, they suffer. And then what happened to him? And that's why he said yesterday, instead of him to blame himself, he said the parties. No.
All right. Honorable Minister, let's leave Rivers now.
Come back to your immediate
to PDP politics.
So you are currently overseeing the construction of 3 very impressive bus terminals. We have Kubo, we have Central Business District, and then we have Mabushi. And of course, we can see the strong commitment this is eliciting, and all that. But what are your plans, in a broader view of public transportation? What are you doing to implement a new public transport policy?
I don't know whether I will go back to that, but one of the reasons why we are doing bus terminals is to have a new strategy for public transportation, and that we are not going to allow all this stop and pick.
Yes.
Stop and pick. We will not allow that again. And that's what has led to this one chance. So that if you are going to get a vehicle that will convey you to your destination, you know that I'm going to park. And the vehicles are registered. The drivers are known, are profiled. In that case, we'll be able to solve the problem of one chance or insecurity in the city. So we're going to partner with some private persons who are committed to public transportation. Mind you, government cannot be and has never been a good business person. If you allow government, then everything will collapse. All we are doing is to provide infrastructure that will enable the private sector participate effectively, and we giving them, making the environment to be easy for them to operate. So that's what we're doing. And let me also tell you something. You remember, we try to empower the youth by giving them vehicles, you know. You see, I tell people, all these theories, empower the youth, empower youth. Nobody has asked, are the youth willing to work? Are the youth willing? It's not about government bringing a policy to help you. Do you know what surprised me? Even ladies were included. I go to overseas, I see ladies being taxi drivers, conveying you to where you are going to. In Nigeria, it's a taboo that you are driving your vehicle to earn a living. Hey, they will send me a taxi driver. They will send me a bus driver. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
It's not a taboo.
No, I'm telling you, what I mean it's a taboo is that we see it so. I'm not saying it's, I say it's only in Nigeria. I go overseas, I come back, I see some Nigerians, they're with you. Very good, I carry you. They're taxi drivers there. Come home. I know, I don't want to be a taxi. Now, that's why I say, as if it is a taboo.
Have you encouraged them?
Just listen to what I'm saying. When you bought vehicles, have you seen any of those vehicles along the road? They've sold them.
How many, sir?
It doesn't matter.
No, it matters.
No, it doesn't matter. It can be two. It doesn't matter. It's the intention. What you are saying is that we're trying to empower you to own a business. And you are sabotaging it. Even if it is 200, it's 100, it's 50. Is that why it should be done so? Even if it is one. And we sit back, we talk about youth. You know, it pains me. You want to maybe be a billionaire overnight. You don't want to work for it. You don't want to work for it. An opportunity has been created for you. The next thing you did, I laughed. I called the meeting. I called the security. You provide them, and we have their listen back. Now, the issue is, should I go and arrest them? Another problem. Should I charge them to court? Another problem. So, it is not easy. We like to talk theory. Nobody wants to face empirical, practical things. What are our problems? It's not about the president, it's not about government not trying to help the youth. How many people, when I was chairman of a local government, I tried to create, I said, what do you want to do? We want to sell, I believe for you, businesses, entrepreneurs. I sent them for trade. I bought them a different say, look, I want to be a dealer smith. They said, I want to be a dealer on this. We provided the funds. As I speak to you that after 2 weeks.
We want to appreciate the scope of intervention you made.
No, it is not. You see, the problem we have, you're only talking about quantity. That's the problem we're having. Start with one. What is the result of the one you have done? It's not about a quantity, the largeness. No. That's not the spirit behind it. The spirit behind it is that what are your efforts to making sure that this is done? And I said, I have done this yesterday. Do you know the result of it today? See what is the result. We must have people who are committed and disciplined. There's this psychology. We must tell our people, our youth, money is good to be made. We cannot make money overnight. You start with something. Do you know? I have somebody whom I said, look, you have to start to work. He said, well, the salary. I said, do you know how much social salary is? Well, I make sure that You'll be earning 400,000 naira. You say 400,000 for what? Look at the mentality. Look at the mentality. It must start with millions. And if we don't solve that problem, that sack problem, it is going to continue to haunt us. So it's not about you coming, what have you done for the youth?
Our time is almost fast spent. Okay. And we will be happy with ourselves if we don't touch on PDP national issues. The PDP Zonal Congress took place not too long ago. That's the South-South Zonal Congress in Calabar. And the conference itself and the outcome have been receiving a lot of knocks from some members of the PDP, members of the NWC, for instance, condemned it. Some governors from the South-South who ought to have been part of that meeting but were not there have also come out to condemn it as well. So where does that leave your party?
I'm trying to avoid this, but now you brought it up. This is the set of governors that want PDP to die. This crop of governors, their interest is to keep PDP. I was a governor. As at that time, I saw the opposition party, the ruling, opposition party. No, the ruling party then, that's the under Buhari, came out fighting PDP. Using our Modi Sharif fighting to keep PDP. I'm proud to say, I am proud, very, very proud. I stood my ground. I said, no, it won't work. PDP must survive. I never went to the vida. Never. Never. In fact, I stopped going to NEC and Security Council meeting because I was afraid of my life. I stood and I said, PDP will not die. Forget about these people, you say one thing here, in the night you say a different thing. I never hit my intention, where I'm going to. If I could not then, is it now? I'm silent. Now you talk about zonal congress. Arrogance. Unnecessary arrogance. They say they are zonal governor. Rubbish. Rubbish. You must be governor with character. You can say whatever you want to say. I have never played two roles. I have never. And I will not. When the issue of PDP presidential thing, ask the president. I never. Ask him whether he gave me 1 naira. It's alive. What I demanded, what condition, I never did. I said, my belief is that the president should go to the South. My belief, who is likely to win for the South, it is you. I'm not saying he's a righteous person. I'm not saying, but as a politician, I should be able to say who has the tendency, who is likely to win, not on sentiment. Not on sentiment. You don't need to like him. But does he possess what it takes to win an election? Yes.
This was after you lost out.
Do I want you to win? Yes. Now, I played the game openly. I never hid it. You have governors today. Their leg is here. Their leg is here. What kind of characters are that?
They are also accusing you of the same thing.
Hold on. No, they can't say that. You shouldn't even say that.
They are also accusing you of the same thing.
No, hold on. They can't. They don't have what it takes. No governor can look at my face and say that. Not one.
They say you are in
my
PDP.
Friend, hold on. I was in PDP. I said they won't win for presidency. And they didn't win. But I said they will win in House of Assembly. They win National Assembly. How do you want a man to tell you something? So what is accusing me? Why not tell people this is where you stand? If God has made you governor, what are you afraid of? Governor. You are afraid. Today you talk here. In the 1970s days. Now look at my zonal congress. I was a governor. That's why I say governance is not about commissioning projects. We call meeting, we call senators, we call National Assembly members, we call chairmen, zonal committee, come. We manipulate it. to our own way to suit what we're saying. But meeting has been called. And everybody has agreed. That's the capacity. Not everybody can commission projects. But everybody cannot have this capacity to meander, to bring people together. You had a zonal working committee. You didn't call them for a meeting. What does the Constitutional Party say? The National Vice Chairman of the zone is one that presided over the zonal meeting. Now call. Because you're a governor. Because you have allocation. So you think money is everything. You go in your house. You call a meeting. You don't call the zonal committee. Zonal meeting. You don't call anybody. You stay in your house and you shout position. And you say, oh, Governor did called meeting. Rubbish. Nonsense. Nonsense. Who is that? Who is that? I mean, how do you do that? Something that's why I say you don't have a problem. You create problem for yourself. You have Governor of Delta. You have Governor of Rivers. You have Governor of Bayelsa. You have Governor of Akwa Ibom. You control your people. Why not call this meeting? I was on this position. Everybody will buy in. But you go there. You won't call anybody. Forget me. I'm nobody. You won't call me FC Minister. I'm nobody. I agree. This Diri they are talking now, Governor Diri. You know, that's why you know when you put people in power. Go and ask the Minister of Petroleum. He brought Governor Diri to me in Wisconsin, where I was staying. This governor you are talking now, that's why when I look at people, I say character is something you cannot buy.
Former FCT Minister Nasir El-Rufai said it yesterday that APC, like the president was kind of destabilizing other political parties.
Hold on. I don't want to go into that. That's El-Rufai's view. I don't.
Are you an agent?
Is entitled. Do I look like somebody who will be an agent? Is there anything I do? I don't do publicly. Is there anything? Now, sort of, don't cut me what I say because I know where you're headed. Hanakin Lebobri, the Minister of Petroleum, brought him with David Lyon. Yeah. This governor, he was kneeling down. I said, no, don't do that. You're a governor, don't do that. Today, you go and call a meeting, South Zone, in your house. Minister of Health will not be there. Zonal Committee will not be there. Senators will not be there. National Assembly will not be there. Is there politics is played? Something you can still achieve if you have the tax. Something you can achieve. Now you go and cause problem. Now, look at how they are. The Congress have been here. That's why I say, when you cause problem for yourself, you go and blame other people. Look at stupid. You call them stupid. I say stupid. Yes, they are. What would they do?
You're on national TV.
Wow, what is that?
Excellency, you're on national TV.
When you don't have credibility.
You're on national television, Excellency.
I am the one who invited you here.
Yes.
So I'm not unaware of that. I invited you, so I know.
Just the choice of language,
no,
Excellency.
I didn't call your name. I said NWC. I never called your name. You must understand that. When they come to arise, do you say so?
We do.
You don't.
We do.
You don't. We do respect. Now let me tell you. You wrote a letter to INEC. To INEC. On the 20th. You submitted the letter. On Monday, 20th was Friday. 23rd was the day of the Congress. You wrote a letter to INEC, purported letter. And then you submitted the letter on Monday. After the Congress had taken place. You are not telling INEC, we have postponed Congress that have taken place. That's why I say that was stupidity. Congress on Saturday. You wrote a letter to INEC on 20th. Submitted the letter on Monday. Okay, tell me who's is that not? Tell me.
I need to quickly.
Now, secondly, you now go. Court gave ahead. Go ahead. You now say you are forming caretaker. You are the one killing party. And I've said this severally. Why are you killing our party? Am I the one who said you should go and do this? Do you require an agent that a governor or governors will not know how to play the tag, how to be tactful to achieve the result? Which senator in a meeting where governors are seated? Take for example. where governors are sitting. I said, look, gentlemen, this is what we have thought about. They will always give you. They will always. But you don't go and say you're a lord. No. If it was not challenged, that's how we would say when I was governor with anybody. If you do things the right way, achieve your result, who will challenge you? But if you don't do it, people will challenge you. That's what's happening today.
Your Excellency, your party has just 2 years to get itself together for another round of general elections. It seems to me as if the center doesn't seem to be holding at all from both the local and the national.
Yes, see why it will not hold now. Instead of them to think of how to do opposition. Every governor, I've never seen it now. Let them challenge me. I will tell them one by one. The role you are playing. The role you are playing.
Working against the party.
I will tell them one by one. I will tell them one by one.
But that's what Rufai was saying.
No. I said, challenge that. Listen, I don't know the school you went to. Listen very well. So that has nothing to do with what Rufai said. I said, I will tell them one by one. The role they are playing, not me. I don't need to play that kind of role. For Christ's sake. Look at what's happening today at the National Assembly. The Court of Appeal gave status quo ante-bellum. What is status quo ante-bellum? Before the hostility started, go back to where you are. They went, organized themselves, and said, okay, you know that illegality to the highest order. And I was watching, a governor came to my house. I said, you're a lawyer. Is that what you are taught in law school? I can't believe this. Interest. And all this shenanigans they are doing, somebody will fight it. And when you fight it, you become an agent. How would I become an agent? Look, that's why I tell you, people don't have character. How did Bala Mohammed use us? Bala Mohammed was having problem with Atiku and Co. He was having problem. He came to me. In fact, that day, I was going to commission the lounge at the airport. When he landed, I said, "Oh, there's no need coming into town. Since I'm coming to the airport." Brother Adoke, the former Attorney General, was there. Bala was one. Unknown to him, I was laughing. I said, "Look, Atiku will kill him. If Atiku wins, that we must support Aswaju." I laughed. That's okay. Now, we now organize G5 to go and pay Bala a visit in Bauchi, not knowing that he was using us to settle with Atiku. So when we went there, he was happy. The next day, Tamboa, Sudalamide, all of them led a team to go and see Bala. And Bala abandoned us. Now reconciled. Now, you see, these are the things I say. Look, the position you occupy. You must be a man of character. I don't need to go to any malam, any priest, any bishop to pray for me, to have character.
But with as it is today, will you remain in the PDP with all these frustrations? Will you still stay?
What do you mean by remaining?
In the
because
party?
there are talks that yourself and some of your aides, including in the FCT here, are about moving to the APC, including my brother, Senator Philip Atuda.
So what is that? What is that? So if I move to, let me tell you, if I move to APC, I will tell you what I'm moving. You see, I don't run away from fight. I don't run away. I'm not going to leave this party. See, the governors have the money, but they are not doing it well. Are they even spending the money on the party? They are not. Look at any good governor. He wants to be leader of the Southeast. I agree with that. But as a leader too, you play the game. You will make sacrifice. Today, in Anambra, no PDP, nobody collected form to run as governor of Anambra. I'm a governor. Look at Enugu State. Look at Anambra. You cannot bring somebody in Anambra to run an election And you tell me you're a leader of PDP service.
All right, we don't have much.
All you're interested in the zonal congress. Zonal rubbish.
We don't have much time
that's
right now.
rubbish.
I'd like you to wrap up with this because as we speak at the moment, we know that Governor Fubara has been locked out of the assembly complex and he's just there to present. I know you try to speak to this issue, but let's gain some more clarity from you.
No, I'm not a member of assembly, but what I was just saying here, if you write a letter to the assembly, won't you wait for a response? That's why I tell you, sincerely, it's really good. I tell you, he played to the gallery. He has carried television people. Now they say, oh, he went to the assembly. You know it's wrong. Can president now stand up and rush to the assembly? Who does that?
Is that the best approach to lock him out of the complex?
The residents. He brought the assembly complex down. Assembly now sit in their residence. If they are coming, they have children. They say, governor's coming today. There are a lot of security people. So they have to prepare themselves. You cannot just go and then open the gate and come to present budget. Nonsense. Rubbish.
All right.
Rubbish. Who's doing that? Play to the gallery. Nobody will hear that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Unfortunately, we've run out of time because we have to leave at this particular time. Hoping that before May 29, when those projects will be ready for Mr. President's commissioning, we have an opportunity of hearing the update on each of those projects from you. That's a promise?
Promise of what?
That we will have an opportunity to get an update from you on those projects.
You go, okay, you know about the projects?
Yes.
Oh, of course, you'll be told. Oh, but already you know. Except you don't stay here. You know. You can see whether anybody likes it or not, whether you like me or don't like me. And like I said, you don't need to like me. Like the work we are doing. What I've also told people, I don't like this attitude of people like you. I don't like it. Do you like the work I'm doing? Yes. Forget about me.
Okay.
The only person that should like me is my wife.
As she does.
Yeah, she does. So all these other people, I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing my work. And that's what is supposed to be.
Your supporters.
Thank you so much.
Supporters, they vary. I can change today. Fubara was not my supporter.
Thank you so much.
I did not change. So forget about that.
We appreciate your time. We really appreciate this opportunity. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much. Gentlemen and lady.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, that's how we drop the curtain on today's edition of Media Chat with the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. Very soon, we'll gather here again, probably to get an update on the ongoing projects which are being, pursued vigorously for the purposes of Mr. President commissioning them on May 29 or before then. Thank you so much for investing your time with us. We'll see you around. My name is Ben Garulema.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing@tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Live from our studio in Lagos, Nigeria, this is TVC Midday News. We are tracking developments at the scene of the devastating tanker accident which happened at the Otedola Bridge in Lagos yesterday, Sunday, and it resulted in widespread destruction and loss of life. We can now tell you that the CMD road is now open to traffic following the removal of the charred tanker which exploded yesterday by emergency responders. Heavy lifting equipment were deployed while recovery officials pushed back media as a protective measure due to gas oozing out of the tanker. Emergency services were hard at work as they worked to remove the burnt-out tanker and recover the bodies of the victims. Damping down the charred remains of the tanker with gas, fumes, and odor evident. Recovery trucks also removed debris from the site of the explosion.
With the church side out there.
Law enforcement officials are also in hot pursuit of suspects who may have fatally wounded an unidentified individual. Hoodlums attempted to take advantage of the situation near the scene, but law enforcement officials quickly restored order.
The incident happened yesterday night around past 8, and we are the first to get here. Immediately we call on other major responders. All hands has been on deck to make sure that all the victims that can be rescued, the needful has been done.
Yesterday, as of yesterday evening, we had 4 fatality, and of course I've been able to rescue not less than 20 victims, and we're stabilized at the scene of incident, and of course some of them with some level, a 50% degree of burns were taken to the Bagada Burns unit, and some of them were taken to General Hospital for secondary treatments.
We have our own family, we have kids. We just need the support of the Lagos State government, to help us to talk to the owner of their company for our own property. That's what we want.
Earlier today, emergency services officials recovered the body of the occupant of a Toyota Corolla vehicle impacted by the tanker explosion. Artisans who lost tools and vehicles beside the explosion scene are demanding compensation. Our investigation is still ongoing to ascertain the cause of the gas tanker explosion under the Otedola Bridge portion of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Now, for more updates on the fire incident, our senior correspondent Sarah Yeku joins me for more updates. Sarah, bring us up to speed on the current situation at the Otedola Bridge and events surrounding this gas tanker explosion.
Abosede, it's been really, should I say, traumatic for a lot of the residents, particularly the mechanic village, which was really affected. This building over here, which is a residential building, and it housed, they had a dental clinic just below in this one-story building. For the tricycle owners, for some of the vehicle owners, for of course the families that have lost their loved ones. In this incident, it's been really traumatic just watching in 16 hours all of this unfolded. So this happened at about 8 p.m. on Tuesday night, and when it happened at about that time, we understand that a gas tanker, a 30-ton gas tanker, was coming in from this area, which is from this K2 area, and then was trying to ascend this CMD road. Some persons had said that what actually happened was that the vehicle had lost its brake. They were trying to fix that particular vehicle, and they were testing it before it came out of the second coming filling gas station, which is not too far from where the incident happened. While the tanker was coming down this road, we understand that it was honking, but at the time while it was honking, some persons moved out of the way for him, and then it swerved, hit this culvert, and then the tank overturned, and then we had that eruption happen at about 8 p.m. last night. So what we've seen so far is that the road is now open for traffic. Earlier before now, this happened about 20 minutes ago. Earlier before now, the tanker was just at this particular spot over there where you see that vehicle without a plate number there. That's where the tank had fallen, and then that's where you had the major impact, where the gas, of course, very volatile, because gas is very volatile, and so it took about more than 12 hours for the emergency responders, particularly the firefighters, to put out the fire from the gas tank and also from adjoining buildings that were affected. The mechanic village and some other vehicles around this area were also affected, but this particular building, we heard the landlord, talking earlier. He has not spoken to us on camera yet. He wants to actually take us to his house to see the impact of this incident. For him, who is in his old age already, he's not really happy about what happened. He feels that this could have been avoided if the relevant authorities, the security agencies and law enforcement agencies had done their part of the job.
Definitely, Sarah. No one would be, happy or excited about an incident of this magnitude, which has taken lives and, lot of property. Talk to us about casualty figure. What is the latest the emergency responders are saying has happened? How many people have died? Are there any persons who are receiving treatment in hospitals? Just talk to us about that.
So for now, the number that we've had, last night we had that 2 persons that died here at the scene. This morning when we got here, we confirmed that 4 persons had died. 4 persons, I'm talking about one of the mechanics, I understand, was trying to save his customer's vehicle, and then he was caught in the fire, and then he died a few meters away from here. Another person, we're not too sure if it's the motorboy or the driver of the truck in question, also died at this place, this particular spot, right there in the gutter there. Earlier this morning, his mangled body was actually brought out. Of course, it's too gory for us to show on air. His body was brought out and bagged and given to SEMU, that's the agency in charge of dead bodies which collaborates with the emergency responders, and so his body was taken away this morning. We kind of don't have identity of some of the persons yet, because some persons died in some of the vehicles that were affected here. 12 vehicles were also affected. I understand 8 tricycles, some of them that were parked along in that's opposite the mechanic village. Some of them were parked at this other side of the road, and so some of them were also affected. They've been asking for compensation, because really, where do they direct their questions to? This may not directly be the government's responsibility, but for the company now, they're asking who is going to pay compensation for the loss they've incurred just in 16 hours. Most of them are not really happy about the situation. It almost got a bit chaotic earlier on when we saw some scavengers trying to take advantage of the situation. But what we know for now is that no company has owned up or come up to say they own the vehicle, but we saw on the gas tank a second coming, which is a gas station not too far from here. So we're expecting that since recovery is almost done at this particular scene, we're expecting that the relevant agencies will continue the investigations and then, of course, hold this gas company to book, hold them responsible for this incident, and probably some kind of compensation will come out. But the question is, for how long will these affected residents, these business owners, for how long will they have to wait for that compensation to come? This area is very volatile. Not too far from here, you see a no entry for truck sign. There have been arguments about where exactly was the truck coming from. So we understand that the truck was coming in from here. So the no entry for truck, I understand it has to do with the bridge. So trucks are not allowed to use the bridge, this particular bridge, they're not allowed to use it. But then the question of should they be using this small road, which should be for motorists, small car owners, should they be using this particular road? That's a question that we're asking. But the argument is, since you have petrol filling station on this road, you also have a gas station on this road, how would they be supplied? So these are some of the questions that have popped up earlier today, and we're hoping that the government, of course, will come up with stricter measures. They have laws. It's not like there are no laws, but they have laws, but stricter measures, enforcement, because around this area alone, we have about 3 checkpoints. Just at that CMD, the Otedala point, under this bridge, there's another checkpoint. Down this road, there's the DSS office. So there are various checkpoints along this route. And it also brings the question about how fit are these vehicles on the Nigerian road. So different questions popping up, but the major thing now is where does compensation come from and when will this compensation get to these affected persons?
Real huge questions, and we hope that we can